I want you to read out the last 5 numbers of your $50 bill.
1, 4, 6, 3, 8.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Nique, the real mentalist. Hope you enjoyed that.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Nick Tan Chats, my magic and mentalism review show. My name is Nick Tan, and in today's episode we'll be taking a look at the JJ notebook put out by Juan, Pablo and Jota. So as always, before anything else, I'd like to take a quick minute to thank all my subscribers out there. Your support has brought me up to this point, alright? And by this point I mean, just a couple of days ago, Facebook actually sent me a reminder that it has been exactly 1 year, alright, since I put out the very first episode of Nick Tan Chats on YouTube. Alright, so it really is the anniversary of this show, so happy anniversary to me. But I wouldn't have made it here without your support, alright? Thank you all so much for supporting the channel thus far. With your support, I hope I can continue to churn out these YouTube videos for you whenever I can. And if you're not yet a subscriber, if you're new to the channel, please have a look around, look at the other videos that I've done. And if you like the videos that I do, you've gotten value out of watching them, please subscribe to my channel, alright? Because by subscribing, what you're saying is you like what you see and you want to see more. So click the subscribe button right now. So I began today's episode with a short excerpt. You would have seen a clip from one of my stage shows to show you that I love number predictions, and I currently use a number prediction to actually close my commercial stage show. Of course, when I say currently, I'm referring to a year and a half ago when I was still performing. So as performers, we're always looking for that killer routine to end our show, right? To close our show. We're always interested in what a good closer would be, and I found that number predictions seem to work for me. Now, I'm sure that different performers will have different preferences for closing routines, which is fine, alright, which is the way it should be. But personally for me, number predictions seem to just work really well and get me really strong reactions. Which brings us to today's product review, because this product can actually create that kind of effect that I like and that I've been using for quite a few years now to close my stage show. So what is the JJ notebook? Now, it is not an effect, okay? It is not an effect per se, because this is more like a tool for you to create your own effects. Okay, so I'm just going to open the box. I'll show you what you get in the box, the product itself, and then I'll take you through a sample routine just to give you an idea of what is possible with it. Alright, so inside the box, you will get the notebook itself. Now, before I open it up, I want you to first have a look and see how thin this is. Alright, just look at that. It is so slim, so thin. Okay. Inside, when you open it up, again, very simple, very minimalistic. On one side, you have a clear pocket, which has like a small calendar over there. And on the other side, you will have a stack of post-it notes that are stuck to it. I'm going to show it to you right now. Look at how thin this is. Okay, I'll just show it to the camera at the right angle. I hope you can see that. It is so innocent looking, so thin. It looks impossible for this to have any kind of gimmickry of any kind, all right? But it is gimmicked. This is a gimmicked notebook, and it does what it does really well. I really like this a lot. So I mentioned earlier that this is a tool. I'm going to tell you, take you through a sample kind of a routine that you can perform, so you have an idea of what it looks like in performance. So a sample routine will go like this, alright? So perhaps from the stage, you request the loan of some money, and a spectator in the audience, they wave some money at you. This is a $10 bill. So you invite them to join you on stage. So they bring the money on stage, you remove the notebook, open it up just like that. You take the money from them and you fold the bill into quarters like that, okay? And you insert it into this little pocket on this side, so it remains on display the entire time. You now take the notebook and you head down into the audience, so perhaps maybe just the front row, and you request different people, maybe 3 or 4 people, to write down some random 4 or 5 digit numbers. They can handle the notebook at this time, okay? So you can hand it to them, they can hold it in their hands, they can write down the string of numbers, random numbers. You take back the notebook, close up the notebook, and walk back to the stage, hand this to them, okay? This is on display the entire time. There's no like secret switch of any kind. you hand this to the spectator on stage, the guy who loaned you the bill, and you request that he adds up the numbers that were provided by the audience members. Okay, so he will open up the notebook and he will add up the total here. He can use his calculator on his phone perhaps. The total is then written maybe on a large board behind you. He then retrieves the bill. Okay, this goes out of play at this point in time. He opens up the bill and he reads out the serial number on the bill. All right, and of course the serial number matches the total that's on the board that was created by the numbers that were randomly provided by the 4 audience members. Now, while that was a sample routine that you can perform, on the box itself, there's a link to the online tutorial. It is actually like made up of 7 videos, all right? They're not long videos, they're just short videos. They range between 1 to 7 minutes long per video. And on the video, Jota will take you through how to work the pad, how to prepare the pad, how to use the pad, and he'll give you some routines as well. There's a book test that you can do. There's one where you reveal the coordinates of a location somewhere in the world, and there's also a way to use it to harvest personal information from spectators, which you can then use later on in your show. Right at the end of the video, he also teaches you exactly how to refill your JJ notebook. Alright, so over the years, I've used other devices similar to the JJ notebook. This is the very old, very original COSA prediction pad. I believe this was put up by the Cameron Academy many years ago. I used to use this quite a bit when I was experimenting with adding some mentalism to my show. I had a magic show at that point in time. I did a stage magic show. So while I liked this a lot, I found it a little bit troublesome to refill because the pages that were used needed to be of a certain size, and there were holes that were punched into it as well, and you either had to buy the refills or you had to punch them yourself in the exact same spot so that it will fit into the notepad exactly. So another product that I got a lot of use out of is the Fox. Alright, the Fox by Luca Volpe. If you are a member of the Luca Volpe Facebook group, you will know that I'm an advocate for the Fox. I use it quite a lot. I also actually helped Luca film a short instructional video as well on some of my ideas using the Fox. Alright, so this is a really nice prop to use. It also has a post-it note for numbers to be written down here, and also the bill that I borrow from spectators. It goes into this compartment here. This prop actually handles, there are basically 2 components to this kind of an effect, right? There's the numbers and also the bill. So you've got to handle both of them. This actually handles both of them for me in one move at the same time. So it's a very convenient prop. There was a period, sometime in 2018, 2019 where I would walk on stage using just this alone. This actually helps, with the numbers, the bill. It keeps my envelopes for my envelope routine. I've got extra billets in there. There's a confabulation that I can do with this. So it was really just a show inside this folio. Then there was something else that I saw Liu Chen, putting out in his Penguin lecture using add a number pad as well. There was an add a number routine on his lecture. I made this pad exactly as per his specifications. What I like about this pad is that it's really very fair, alright, because people on stage can write down numbers. You can have somebody else in the audience add up the numbers, and in between you can still turn this around and show them, the people on stage, that the numbers, their numbers are still there. Alright, so it kind of negates the kind of method that you're using. Alright, so coming back to the JJ notebook, as I mentioned earlier, there are 2 parts to this kind of a routine, right? There is the part where you have to handle the bill, and then the numbers that are written down. I don't want to say exactly what it is, but those of you who know will know, alright? This notebook handles both of those things for you, similarly to the Fox, alright? Similarly to the Fox, it handles both of those elements for you in just this amount of space, and in just one move. The bill can be on display, the numbers can be here. When you close the notepad and you hand it to the spectator, when they open it up, it's over. Basically, the method is gone. So what do I like about this? I like it that it is low tech. Alright, I'm all for low tech stuff. I love low tech stuff, and it is also really innocent looking. Alright, it is so innocent looking. It really looks just like some piece of plastic or vinyl, and just a flap. There's a calendar there, some post-it notes. So innocent looking, but what it does really well and invisibly as well. There are basically 2 states. Okay, 2 states to this. When you first bring out the notepad, it will be in its shall we say, an activated state, all right? It'll be in its activated state when you first bring it out. And then after you've closed it and you hand it to the spectator, when they reopen it, it will be in its deactivated state, all right? And both of them look exactly the same. It's just so innocent looking. I also like it that it is really small. It's just slightly larger than a post-it pad. It's really nice to know that in such a small space, I can literally just set this up and have this in like a side jacket pocket. It's just nice to know that I have the finale for my show all set up in just one pocket. Finally, I also like it that to refill this, it is as simple as a trip to the stationery store, okay? Because all you need to do is to get a post-it pad, pull out a sheet or two sheets and just stick them down onto what's available here, and then, you know, prepare whatever you need to prepare, close it up, and you are good to go. Now, this does not come with some negatives. Now, first of all, let's talk about this. For the price tag, I would have loved that this plastic pocket was of slightly better quality. If I were to remove this calendar card, you will see that it is basically just a plastic kind of a piece that is folded rather roughly and just stuck down with some double-sided tape. It's fine, you know, it works, it's functional, but it doesn't look as nice as I would like it to. It holds this calendar thing. This is just so that you can hold a bill, and the calendar is probably just to justify the existence of the pocket. I mean, you could just replace this pocket by yourself with some simple arts and crafts, but I would have loved it if the pocket, the way it's made, the way it's attached, to be, you know, of higher quality. And you can only use this prop for 2 years. 2 years, all right? It's the first prop of its kind that I have discovered has an expiry date, because on this side it says 2021, all right? On the other side of the calendar it says 2022, all right? So you can no longer perform this with this in 2023. Okay, that gag actually played better in my head than when I actually said it out, so just forget it. Alright, the next issue is this. I'm not sure about the size of the bills overseas. The height of the bill cannot be taller than the height of a post-it pad. That's pretty much all I can say, but you cannot have a bill that it's too big. Also, you have to take note that it works with plastic bills. Alright, the majority of the bills that we have in Singapore are plastic bills. So it does work with plastic bills, alright, the method. However, I would say it is not as deceptive, all right? Because I mean, we all know plastic bills, right? We've tried to make you know, things like extreme burn and stuff like that, other bill gimmicks with plastic bills, and they don't work, all right? Because they don't fold properly, they don't crease very well, and even in their folded state, they tend to want to, you know, spring open, all right? So that might be a little bit of an issue. It still works, okay? It still works, but it's just not as visually deceptive, I think. All right, there'll be something over there. I don't think people will notice it, but it just bugs me basically. That said, that is only a problem, okay, if you're going to be using this pocket over here to handle the bill element, the element of the bill with regard to the whole method, okay? Otherwise, if you're not going to use the bill section, just using this for the post-it note section alone, I think it's great as it is. Alright, so that's all I have to say about the JJ notebook. I really wish I thought of this, along with, you know, items such as the Unbelievelope, you know, low tech but really smart props. I think this really is something that I would definitely get some use out of. So thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. If you're thinking of picking up the JJ notebook, I believe it'll be available really soon, sometime in the first week of August, and it'll be put out through Murphy's. Okay, so it should be available really soon at all good magic stores worldwide. And at this point, I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Cassidy at The Fundamentals for letting me have this early copy so that I can chat with you guys about it right here on my show. On the next episode of Nick Tan Chats, I will be doing a giveaway, alright, a giveaway of 2 very special decks of cards. Okay, so if you don't want to miss that, remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button as well, so you'll be notified when the next episode goes live. So as always, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again really soon on a future episode of Nick Tan Chats.